Of creation, God makes people in his image in one of two ways. You are a man or you are a woman, and that's it. Jesus believes that men are men and women are women, and you can tell by looking. And Jesus believes that you don't get to choose and you don't get to change. Believe. If you pay attention, what I just said, which is merely what Jesus said, which is merely what God said from the beginning, that's ugly now. That is hateful. That is a terrible thing to say, and you must be silenced, because people don't believe I was asked if I would go visit him. He had just crossed 18 and had been taking the hormone-suppressing drugs that they give you these days in advance of what they call gender reassignment surgery. The hormone suppressants had already begun to take effect, and the hair on his arms and hands was splotchy as it was falling out. He was letting the hair on his head grow out. He was speaking in an elevated pitch to mimic an effeminate sound in his voice. And as I showed up at his home, and earliest he could remember, the image that he had of himself in his mind was different than the way his body looked. Point in the journey, he got good news. And the good news was, we can make these two things line up. We can take what you think about yourself and how you look in the mirror, and we can make them line up. All you gotta do is swallow some pills, and all you gotta do is let us get out this good news. And I called it that. I said, you took that as good news? And he said, yes, I took that as good news. And I said, what if I could share some other good news? Jesus. And I said, hey, listen, what if I told you that there was a different, better, easier way for these two things to line up? What if you could make these line up not by changing the way you look, but by changing the way you think? God made you. Would you be interested in having a conversation like that with me? And he said, no.